All right, everybody, welcome back to Versus Live. My name's Corey Baumeister.
I'm Ross Merriam.
All right, and we got Rob in the booth. Say what's up, Rob?
What's up, Rob?
Rob will be taking all your questions, comments, concerns, burns, whatever you want Rob to see. Feel free to tag at Star City Games. He will get his favorite comments or questions sent over to us, and we will do our best to answer them. So we are continuing our Pioneer battling here, and just seeing how much everything has changed over the last weekend, which it's kind of crazy. Every single format right now is changing week to week. You know, even Standard right now, we all of a sudden have a best deck that wasn't even a deck last week. You know, Pioneer is shaping up a lot. Modern, we're really getting our footing on what's going to be the best decks. Still a huge fan of Modern, by the way. I mean, there is no clear best deck, and I love that right now, you know?
No, this might be the best Modern has ever been.
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
A decade of that format. It's so good right now.
But honestly, Pioneer's in a great spot, too. We're not playing against just Inverter or decks that specifically try to beat Inverter like we were pre-Ikoria, and it's pretty interesting here. And you see us playing kind of a mirror match, right? Like we're both playing Lurrus. It's got to be the same deck, right? It couldn't be any further away from the truth right now. I am playing a Grixis control strategy that is winning with Kroxa. We also have Jace, Vryn's Prodigy to be able to gain a lot of value, and you're trying to get me dead here with a essentially Boros Feather type feel of a deck in the form of Boros Heroic.
Yeah, no, the two very different decks, and that's a key point. I think Companions have felt significantly better in any format where they fit into different strategies, and not just, you know, elevated a couple strategies above the rest because they get to play the Companions and the other decks have to strain more to do so. And while that it seemed like that wasn't going to be the case in Pioneer 2 weeks ago. Yeah. It looked like, you know, you had Lurrus Burn or Lurrus Auras, and you had, you know, Yorion in your, like, a mono-white Heliod deck if you wanted to do that. But we've actually seen several other decks rise. We're going to see a couple different other Yorion decks in the last match. Oh, yeah. There's a couple different Lurrus decks. You know, Heroic is somewhat similar to Auras here. Yeah. This version of Heroic that has emerged is very aggressive with Titan Strength and Gird for battle. I've even seen lists go down to 3 Gods Willing. I'm playing 4 in this one, but I've seen lists trim to 3. So, you know, when I think of the old Heroic decks from Standard, Theros era Standard, they were a little bit grindier than people thought because of Ordeal of Thassa. Like, they drew extra cards and then they countered your removal spells and eventually made this threat that dominated the battlefield. This is more of that, like, all-in almost combo deck where, you know, you protect from that removal spell, and then when your opponents tap down, you just deal them like 12 and have a Boros Charm left to finish them off. Yeah,
you know, it kind of reminds me, like in Standard, the Boros cycling deck. It kind of plays the same, where you want that 1 or 2 key creatures and then use the rest of your deck to make them better. You know, so I mean, this is going to be kind of a battle as old as time. Be like, you try to play creatures that really matter, I try to kill all of them and see who comes up on top. This should be a close matchup.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to be on the play, which is very important.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. All right, let's see. Let's get some good hands here.
And this is a reasonable hand.
This hand is definitely reasonable, but knowing the matchup and knowing, you know, how important my specific early turn draws are going to be, it gets a little closer, but I think this hand is just too good to mulligan, so we're going to keep it.
Okay, I will start on Forge, go to 19, and play a favorite hoplite.
Okay, you're at 19.
That's the turn.
Okay, we're going to start with just a Water Grave tapped and pass to you.
Swift Spear. I will attack. Okay. And while you're tapped down, I want to get this Defiant Strike going.
Okay.
So I'm going to go to 18.
I'm going to take 5 already.
I'm going to take 5. I'm going to draw a card.
Yikes.
Pass the turn.
Okay. I'm not in love with that. That's already just such a fast clock. And now the question is, I'm going to be constantly at ends with myself on whether or not to try to aim removal at your creatures right away or try to wait until you pump stuff, but I run the risk of you having God's Willing when you try to pump stuff, so it really is going to be quite tough here. So I think with that in mind, I just want to get something on the battlefield that can do something. So I think we're going to start with just a Jace and pass to you.
I will Reckless Rage Jace and Favorite Hoplite, trigger Heroic, and
Brutal.
attack for another 5.
All right, 10.
Pass the turn.
Hey, don't love that. Don't love that at all. No land drop is kind of nice, I guess, but I am quite scared. No, let's go with just a land tapped and pass to you.
Attack for 4.
No blocks.
Take 4.
Yeah, this is kind of brutal here. Yeah, all right, down to 6.
Pass the turn.
Heartless Act is pretty awkward against Favorite Hoplite, I now learn. I am going to just try to destroy Swift Spear. I'm doing this post-combat to actually save myself some damage with the Gods Willing that I'm almost assuredly Ross has.
I will God's Willing in response. I'll take 1 for that. So I'm at 17, and I'll scry 1.
All right.
And... you're at 6 right now.
I'm at 6, yep.
I'm going to bottom that.
Okay.
You can go.
All right, untap, draw. That's not an ideal draw. That's for sure. I think we just have to strategic planning here to try to find some good answers. But I do not feel good about this position I'm in at all. So yeah, we're going to go with strategic planning. You love to see that, huh?
I just wanted to not see Corey untap, slam land 4, and go double removal on your creature.
Yep.
Any other thing that he did this turn was perfectly
completely fine. Yeah. So right now you have 4 damage coming through. I'm going to take another strategic planning. Oh, I
you
guess
don't have to reveal.
All right. Well, now you know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Exactly. Now, what do we want to do? Think we just want to hold up interaction for this turn to try to stop you from directly killing me next turn. So we're going to do that and pass to you.
Attack for 4.
No blocks.
You have 5 cards in hand?
5, yep.
Five cards.
5
One
magical
of which is
cards.
Strategic planning.
You don't know that.
You have to have exactly that. I will take 1 and Define Strike the Hoplite, trigger Heroic.
Okay, I'm dead. I was straight bluffing.
You needed to have double push, because if you have removal there, I have Titan Strength here, and that's exactly 6.
Yeah, and it was pretty clear with the way I played that I did not have double push. Yeah, I mean, I think if you thought that through enough and you were able to make both threats lethal, you were going to do that, because very unlikely I had, you know, even 1 removal realistically. And I kept a good solid hand that had like a Heartless Act as removal and then just good other things, but it just wasn't enough. I need a density of removal against you to be able to compete, and that was a beating.
Yeah, no,
That
and
was an absolute beating.
The big thing was like you were casting all 2-mana removal spells, and I was casting all 1-mana tricks and protection.
Exactly,
so even though I was on 2 lands, I was able to get ahead. I was on the play. And then you had to take that 1 turn to play strategic planning, because that deck does have a lot of cantrips. And I think that's going to be really punishing. Any turn where you have to tap out to planning or discovery is a turn that I really need to take advantage.
Exactly.
Maybe not by like ending the game like I did there, but at least by getting really far ahead, landing another key threat, pumping a key threat while leaving up protection. Something something like that needs to happen on those turns, and it did there.
Yep, it 100% did. I say since I think these games are going to be pretty fast, let's try 2 pre, and then we'll head to sideboard.
Let's do it.
Work for you? Okay, awesome. Rob, do you got any questions for us while we get ready?
I do have one.
All right.
Kutsakota wants to know, what about a Jeskai version of this heroic deck? Is playing like Sprite Dragon just too hard on the mana base?
I actually tried that a couple weeks ago, and Sprite Dragon was quite good, but it wasn't enough and better than like 10th District Legionnaire. Because right now, like this deck, you need to play the 1-drops because the low curve is really important, especially with Lurrus.
Yeah, and you have 12 of them, right? Like that seems pretty important, yeah.
And then Dreadhorde Darkness is very unique in what it does. And so you want that. So really, Sprite Dragon is competing with 10th District Legionnaire for spots, and it is better. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely a better card, but it's not enough better to justify the strain on the mana. Yeah,
it doesn't even seem like for sure better to me. You know, I mean, the fact that it does attack for 2 right away is pretty big, and I mean, you know, you Titan Strength Legionnaire and you Titan Strength Sprite Dragon, it is one more... I guess it's the same, huh?
Same.
Yeah.
And you don't have to target the dragon / legionary. If you have favorite hoplite, it's way better.
Sure.
The dragon is better, but it's not a ton better.
Yeah.
You know, it's
not to add another color better. Yeah.
Also, the flying on the Sprite Dragon is super important.
Pretty good right now. Yeah.
So it's definitely better, but the mana strain is pretty bad. You have to play a bunch of mana confluences, and like you a lot more shock lands.
And that's really bad when you play against like red decks, like Auto Bosch, which is building some popularity. You play against that, and you're playing mana confluences. You turn a pretty good matchup, I think, to maybe pretty bad. You know, so
and this deck's mana, even that Boros, the mana base isn't great because you have a really wide spread of costs. And not because you're playing things with like red and white in them, but because you're all 1-mana spells and you want to cast all of them. Yeah. And if you just happen to draw like only 1 white source and you have 2 white tricks, so like that can just happen. Yeah. And it's because you want to be casting your spells as quickly as possible. So this mana base has like Clifftop Retreat in it just because you want more dual lands.
Yeah, makes sense to me. Okay, let's see if I can't get clowned as much as I did game 1 here. This hand seems better to me. I think I'm cool with this one.
Well, my hand seems significantly worse.
Okay, I like that.
It's just really, really slow on the draw because I have a bunch of God's Willings, but my only creature's a 2-drop. So, like, am I playing my 2-drop on turn 2 and having it just die? Yeah. Am I not doing anything until turn 3? Both of those outcomes seem really bad, so I'm going to mulligan this one.
That seems smart to me.
4 lands, Legionnaire, double God's Willing.
Yeah. And I mean, if we look at my hand in this matchup, there are cards that I necessarily don't want. If we're taking a peek here, Rob, these are rough. These are not the cards I necessarily want in my hand, even though they do facilitate the deck quite well. But the other 2 cards and our mana base is pretty good, so I think it's totally worth it. All right, if you got one more question, I'll take it from you.
I do. Thunderbird Jack wants to know, Ross, do you think Is It in Soul is still playable and possibly with a companion?
I think Is It in Soul is in the worst spot it has ever been in Pioneer. There's a lot of cheap red removal, which is rough. There is just not a good companion that you can play. Like, you can try to work the mana base to play Lurrus, but and play like All That Glitters instead of Skilled Animator. Yeah. But isn't that just
Jeskai and Soul?
Isn't that just a worse Orzhov Auras deck?
Yeah. It doesn't seem good enough to me right now. It seems like when In Soul is good, the 2-mana 5/5 thing has to be really good, and the Stubborn Denial effects have to also be good, and I think neither is true right now. So,
I cannot advise playing any sort of In Soul.
Okay, how's that hand? A little better?
Ooh, this is a much better hand.
All right.
Much better hand. I'm going to have to be tapping out a lot for creatures with this hand, so I want to keep as many as I can, just to tax Corey's removal. So let's put our worst trick on the bottom.
I am going to take 2 and pass to you.
If I just don't play a 1-drop and Corey opts, it's so bad for me. So, here's a Soulscar Mage.
Okay, I'll kill it. And then they always have both. It's just how it works, right? Okay, so interesting decision here. All right, we're going to take 2 again.
16.
Not what I want to be doing here, but play a Jason, pass to you.
It's really good. really, really good.
Yeah, I'm just trying to sneak it through before you get too many reckless rages.
Okay, I'm going to play a Legionnaire and attack.
All right, no blocks there.
You're at 14.
14 to 20.
Pass the turn.
All right. Okay, not a bad draw. Yeah, not great, to be honest. I'm going to draw. Okay, that was pretty sweet. That was pretty sweet. All right, I think we can discard this card. I think it's worse than the other one. Actually, that's not true. I'm going to discard Strategic Planning, and whenever you cast something that targets it. Okay. Let's go with, I'm going to take 2.
You're at 12.
12, yep. I've been just destroying myself here. I'm going to go with 2 to here, and you discard.
Discard a Gird for battle.
Okay, and then I'll pass to you.
My creatures have all died.
I like that. This will be one of those games where I tried to say, hey, I'm going to kill your stuff.
3 in graveyard?
3, yep.
Dreadhorde Arcanist.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Love that. Love that. Okay, so now I get to do some mean things thanks to this Fabled Passage. So I am going to sacrifice. I'm going to get on a second red source here since that's the only thing we don't have doubles of. Now I can draw and flip. I'll discard a passage, flip this thing, and now what do I want to flashback, if anything, right now? I could try to interact with my hand and then play push from the yard. I think it's fine to start with the push from the graveyard, so let's go like that. Now, let's go with an opt. Keep that. And here's the question. I don't really want to play anything else from my hand, so we're just going to jam a Lurrus. Pass to you. Lifelinking kitties.
3 in hand?
3 in hand, yep. All good.
Did you pay for the push card?
I did,
Yeah.
yep.
Opt put. Oh, wait. No, you had opt push and then you played a Lurrus, which is not how that works.
That's cheating. That is cheating. Okay. So I already opted, so I'll just take the Lurrus back.
Yeah.
So I would have 2 mana available.
Mountain and one of the others.
Yeah. Thanks. Sorry about that, chat. I will just Discovery instead. Okay. How about that? I don't want either of these. And draw a card, and then Lurrus. I didn't play a land, though, did I? Colligan's Command.
Yes, you did.
I did, because I Fabled Passage. Yep, okay. Passed you. Sorry about that, chat. Good catch.
I will play Tempter Legionnaire and attack the Jace.
Okay, that's pretty strong.
Pass the turn. Oh, I mean, worst case scenario, you can go like untap land, Lurrus, replay Jace.
Yeah, that's true.
Still pretty good. True. I've drawn a lot of my 2-mana creatures here, and that's been a problem. I haven't been able to get ahead at all. Corey, there was the one turn after you had push on my end step on turn 2, and you had a turn where you could develop, and you played the best possible in the Jace.
Yep.
So you took advantage of that turn really well.
That was pretty nice. So I think for this one, I am just going to start with Dreadbore. I could have taken the 2 and played the Jace, but all I want to do is be minimizing the effectiveness of your threats. So we're just going to go like that. Yep.
Another 2-mana threat.
Push. That's going to be bad for you. Now I get the Lurrus turn with Jace pretty effectively, and then I'll pass to you. And now that's just 2 threats that are very scary for you.
God.
That
I've drawn another Arcanist. Just needed a 1-mana threat. Or a third land.
Yeah. Arcanist, pretty good, man. You get to bring back a Gird, Not bad. Not bad, buddy.
2 cards in hand?
I have 2, yep. I won't lie to you, they're good. Yep.
Go.
All right. Still no Croxa. That's what I really want right now, to be able to just kind of push even further ahead. So we're going to start with the strategic planning. 1, 2, 3. All right. That was perfect.
Don't have to reveal.
Well, I was going to play it. How about that? Now we will play Croxa from the yard. Trigger. And we will... I guess I don't want to play this quite yet. I want to draw first. Draw. Discard Croxa. And then we will flash back a Fatal Push, which I will pay for this time, so I don't cheat. Play a Fabled Passage and attack for 3.
Okay, I'm at 17, you're at 15.
All right, pass to you.
Okay, if we have any hope in this game, we need to draw a Monastery Swift Spear. Right here. We did finally draw a 1-mana threat.
And it's a non-haste threat.
It is favorite Hoplite.
Yeah, of course.
But I will Reckless Rage Lurrus and Hoplite.
Yeah, that resolves even if your creature isn't there, right? Yeah. Okay.
You just have another push.
Yeah, I do have another push though.
Okay, this game's over.
Yeah.
You're about to take my last card.
Yeah, I get to Croxa to bring back to do
plus
that.
the Jace, so you have a removal spell at the ready for this Lurrus.
Yeah.
Which would be my only way to get back into the game.
That's honestly how a lot of these games are going to end if it comes down to me winning is, I'm not anywhere near killing you, but you have no chance of winning the game,
I had God's willing and just kept drawing this stream of 2-mana threats when all I needed was a land or a 1-mana threat.
Yeah. There was no willingness from your God on that one, huh?
That shows you why it's so important to have that low curve, right?
Yeah.
We're playing the full 12-1, so that happens as less often as possible.
Yep. All right, well, we are going to take a short break. That is 1-1 here with Boros Heroic up against Grixis Croxa Control, I think we can safely call that. So we're going to take
Napkin.
Grixis Napkin. Oh, sorry, excuse me, the proper name. So we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Sideboarding here on Versus Live.
Welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Lurrus Heroic and Grixis Napkin. On my side of the matchup, we've got some extra protection in Fight as 1.
Yep.
Particularly good with Lurrus, since most of my creatures are humans.
Yep.
So you just get to double up and target both. Apostle of Purifying Light seems great, since all of Corey's removal is black.
Yeah.
Basically only Liliana's Triumph that handles it. It also just exiles Croxa. So I think this is easily the best card on my sideboard. And I'm going with Fiery...
Or even if I target something with Jace. Yeah. That seems really good. Yeah.
It's And then... Fiery Impulse, I think, is better than Reckless Rage just because it's not dependent on me having a creature on the battlefield.
Yep.
So, it still deals with Jace and Lurrus, which are the creatures that I can kill. I don't have removal for Croxa. And I don't want to have too much removal, so I'm going to have 3 impulses in, cut all my Reckless Rages. There's 3 removal spells in my deck. And then I'm cutting my Gird for battles. This seems like the worst pump spell against heavy removal decks.
Yep.
Because it, 1, requires me to commit at sorcery speed, and 2, to get max value, requires me to have 2 creatures on the battlefield, which is far from a given.
Yeah, no kidding. That's definitely better in, creature mirrors. That's a Gird for battle, or even combo, because it just produces a really fast clock. That on 2 prowess creatures, it's just, I can't even count that high.
You start with favorite Hoplite and then go Swift Spear, Gird for battle, my 2 creatures, attack you for 6.
Yeah,
and
that's turn 2.
Untapping with 5 power next turn to start. Yeah,
and you only lose 1 of those +1/+1s off the prowess. So I agree. That's pretty insane. Okay, so from my end, we are just having a story of taking out medium cards and just bringing in more efficient, good removal. So taking out the Lantern, it is a Lurrus deck, so it feels like this should be good, but it's really not. I do like this in maybe Breach matchups. I don't know. When you're taking this out against a Lurrus deck, I think this is probably just something that shouldn't be in the deck. You know, I do think it is quite weak. It's decent to be recurred with Lurrus, which is fine and whatever, and I can see why there's one of for that kind of toolbox effect. I'm not a big fan. And then we're taking out 2 strategic plannings. I just never really have time to cast that, even though it is very good at doing what my deck needs to be doing, is putting stuff into the graveyard as well as hitting land drops.
You can't afford to be too proactive in this matchup.
Exactly. And then Kolaghan's Command, I think, is our worst removal. I'm pretty iffy on keeping in Kolaghan's Command or just getting rid of all plannings. It does still kill some creatures. Plus, it's better. I actually am going to make that change right here. I'm going to take out all the plannings, and I am just going to have the #1 plan of I'm going to have everything that says deal damage, have that in against you. So we're going to take out all the plannings. We'll keep in K-Command, but K-Command is very close to being on the chopping block because it seems really bad. You know, most of the time dealing 2 damage to your creatures isn't going to be that easy and that effective to kill something. So we'll try. Hopefully we don't draw them, basically.
Or draw them only when they're really good.
Only when they're really good. When you have 1 card in hand and you have 1 10th District Legionnaire. And I mean, honestly, the 2 mana does deal with Lurrus, so I think that's reasonable as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, not ideal, that's for sure. All right, well, we shuffle up for a 3rd game. You got a question at all, Rob?
Yeah, so is there no thought at all to keeping the Soul Guide Lantern?
To keeping the Lantern? I mean, there's definitely thought, you know, because it does shut down Lurrus. But Lurrus isn't really how I lose the game, in my opinion. Like, Lurrus is nice for you to have as, like, a way to buy back. But most of the time, I would just rather, when you go Lurrus creature, just cast 2 removal spells instead. Obviously, that's not an ideal world. There's thought to it, but I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, there are matchups where I think that card performs significantly better. Like any longer matchup where you can just keep cycling it every turn with Lurrus is really nice.
Yeah.
Orzhov Auras in terms of Lurrus decks, because they are, one, relying a little bit more on the Lurrus itself.
Yeah.
But they also have things like Griff's Boon and Sentinel's Eyes that they can access from the graveyard.
Yeah.
Tagging one of those is nice. But this is a matchup, I'm not as good of a Lurrus deck as other Lurrus decks. So
yeah, you're a beatdown deck that has that as your 8th card. You know, it's not a Lurrus deck, in my opinion. I think, honestly, even this deck is a better Lurrus deck than that one, you know? Because I do bring back some very key spells.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, my hand is quite good.
I think my hand is good enough to keep, but it is a little awkward. I am going to risk this and keep this on the draw, though.
Okay, I have a Soulscar Mage.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right. I have a Watery Grave for 2 damage to me, and then I'll pass to you.
18. I have a 10th District Legionnaire.
10th District Legionnaire, huh? Well, I probably want to kill that. So yeah, let's push the Legionnaire.
Okay, take 1 to 17.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
All right. Draw. Pretty solid, okay, draw there. Well, what do we want to do? 4 cards, huh?
Yep.
Pretty close, pretty close. I think I want to start with a... I'm going to take 2, and I'm going to play a Jace.
So you're at 15?
Yep, pass to you. Playing into the removal, of course, that's worse if you have that, but I think the upside of having it in play is a little too good.
I'll go to 18.
Okay.
And I will play a 10th District Legionnaire.
Okay.
And I will attack.
I could block Soulscar Mage, but any spell kills that. That's probably not smart, so I'll take it.
You can take 3, go to 12.
Yep.
And I will...
Tough. To play the 3rd creature or hold up the non-God's Willing card? That's what I would put Ross on with the hesitation. If it is God's Willing, it's just like an auto say go. But if you're considering it, that's what would be going through my brain right now. I obviously could be wrong, and I would not announce this to my opponent if I was playing, but that would be me trying to get inside Ross's head, you know?
You can go.
All right. Playing favored.
I think it is unlikely for Corey to be able to, kill all of these. I just want to get everything down.
Yeah.
It affords me more options moving forward.
Yep.
Especially with the Lurrus, too.
I'm going to start by drawing because I'm not really going to flip this almost assuredly. That was horrible. Discard Croxa. I think I have to fire this off right now. I'm just too far behind and I cannot afford to miss a land drop. So I am going to opt.
Yep.
Bottom.
If you miss a land drop here, the game is over.
Here you go. Here you go. Yep, Max punished by not having any land. We did, of course, keep a land light hand, but...
Okay, on my upkeep, I'm going to Titan Strength the 10th District Legionnaire.
Okay.
Trigger to scry.
Sure.
Bottom that land, then the Titan Strength resolves scry. You have 3 cards in your graveyard?
I have 3, yep.
That's actually pretty good. We'll leave that one.
Okay.
And I will... attack for 6, 7, 8, 9 right now.
No blocks.
4 damage, Fiery Impulse the Jace, trigger prowess.
Yep.
You take 10.
Yep,
You
down to 2.
And I will pass the turn.
All right. Well,
is that good, Corey?
I think that's good. Yeah. Is that good? Yeah, and I mean, I had the Dreadbore, to just play safely and kill that instead of trying to opt. But I kept a 1-lander on the draw with push and opt, and I just drew 2 more opts and then just Croxas and stuff. So I felt like I was behind enough that it was worth the risk.
I think so too. Because I don't think because then the next turn you're in the same spot, you probably accepted Dreadbore again. Yeah. And I God's willing, and then I probably just Lurrus something, and then you end up eventually there's going to be a turn where you need to just fire off a million ops. Yeah. You might as well just try to hit it now.
Exactly. I think people will look at this game and be like, well, that was a bad play because if you don't hit it, you're dead. Well, honestly, I think I've played enough and you have played enough games where if you don't opt there and hit the land anyways, you're going to die anyways. It's just going to be slower. Yeah. If I had a lot more removal, like all I had was Dreadbore and K-Return, if I had Dreadbore and Heartless Act, maybe I consider not doing it, but I think I still would just jam. So yeah.
Especially, but you have good 1-mana removal and you can set up maybe a double removal spell if you draw well enough.
Because opt there could have hit. Yeah, that's a good point. I could have hit Fatal Push or a land. So that even increases my chances. I would keep a Fatal Push because it's already just another removal spell.
Yeah.
Not ideal, of course, but yeah, that was just a beating where I decided to play Jace instead of killing something. And if you just have the removal, it's so bad for me. And then there was some scenarios where I could have, because I had so many 1-drops that I could have actually flipped Jace and then flashbacked a push, and that would have been insane, or block and then draw a card to be able to blink it out and kind of get a free block. But yeah, didn't happen. Got ran over. All right.
You fell behind. You were on the draw. You took a risk. It didn't pan out.
Yep. Happens. But so now you are up 2-1. I need to close out the next 2 games to lock up the marbles here on Versus Live. And believe me, I want it.
So far, play draws felt really important.
Yeah.
When you were on the play, you had a free turn to land the Jace, but I'm on the play, I can get multiple creatures down and afford to extend, and any stumble when you're on the draw has been really important.
It makes a ton of sense that this is a very play draw matchup because this is a play draw deck. Yeah. No matter what, almost every matchup you play with that, if you're on the play, you're going to be much more advantaged than the other way around. All right. Well, this is a scary hand. I think this hand is too bad. I don't interact. I think this hand is a trap, even though it looks like a fine, keepable hand. I just don't think it's good enough.
You would keep this hand if you didn't know the matchup.
For sure.
And you're on the play.
Yeah.
Snap keep that 7 in a game 1. But knowing the matchup.
Yeah, I don't think it's good enough. I need to have at least 1 piece of interaction for your first threat. So I'm gonna mulligan that one.
And my hand is great.
And my hand is great. Rob, you got a question?
I do. Master Neo 92 wants to know: do you think that there's any room to exploring companions as something you play in your deck as well as your sideboard, and then in your sideboard you kind of break the companion rule? So say play 3 Lurrus in your main deck, and then some of your sideboard cards perhaps are more than 3 mana.
Mm-hmm. It's totally reasonable where you expect your companion to be dealt with a decent amount. Like for me, like Yorion is close to me of wanting one more Yorion in your hand or in your deck, in standard, of course, just because Yorion gets ECD'd, Elspeth Conqueror's Death, very easily, and that effect is so insane. But you got to look at it this way, that it's always a dead card whenever you draw it, until your companion is gone, because you start with it. So it's a possibility. The thing that I think I'm more interested in is playing a companion like, Obosh or whatever, and then playing Lurrus in my deck, just as a good card. Like I did that for the E-League last week where I played Mono Black Obosh, but I played Lurrus in the deck because it was just a good card. I don't think people are doing that enough, but it is pretty risky to just put another legend into your deck when you always draw a legend,
You just made me think of like the exhibit meme. It's like, I heard you like companions. I got you a companion to go with your companion.
Yeah,
so they can have a companion.
Makes sense.
There's definitely a lot of room left with companions. I like the idea of having like weird sideboard plans like that. This is going to take a long time for us to figure out. And the people that do figure it out first are going to like crush a tournament, and we're all going to look at the deck and just bow down.
Yes.
That's how this is going to work. I know it's going to happen, but
Yeah, I totally agree. Okay,
it does is anybody's guess.
I'm gonna keep this. It's not a great hand, but on the mulligan, I think it's reasonable. All right, I will take 2 and pass to you.
Stop having fatal push.
Never. Okay, I will take 1.
17.
17. Opt.
Nice opt.
That's a pretty good card for me right now. I think I'll hold on to that one. Okay, interesting. Let's go with, I want to interact in some way this turn. It's definitely close. All right, I think we're going to take another risk here and go for the Jace. Hope you don't have the removal. Pass to you. Okay.
Impulse your Jace.
Ugh.
Attack for 2.
Gross. Okay.
You're at 15.
Yep.
You can go.
Not what I wanted to see, of course. Now I got to land here. I think we just need to affect the board, so I'm going to dreadboard that and pass to you.
Okay. Attack for 1.
Yep, no blocks.
Take
Sack
1.
This while you do your thing.
And I will play Dreadhorde Arcanist.
Okay.
Nice thing about the Arcanist is it sort of covers Corey's Lurrus because I have the Impulse back there for it.
Yeah. Yep.
So you'll probably wait till turn 5 at the earliest to fire that off so you can get the Jace back immediately.
Yep. And yeah, even that is pretty rough. So this is coming into play tapped. I'm going to 14. Then you're done?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I think I unfortunately want to start with a discovery.
Yep.
Don't want to land. Surveil is just to your graveyard, right?
Yes.
Okay. Draw.
It's all about enabling Croxa.
Yep.
Got 4 in hand over there?
4, yep. Now I need to try to shut you down from doing something here. Our draw is not coming together very well. I'm gonna have to Thoughtseize you.
Oh, you're going to see that my hand is not particularly good right now either, because I'm going to God's Willing in response so I can scry before showing you my 2 lands.
Okay.
Let's God's Willing this, I guess, name black.
Sure.
Actually, I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to leave that on top.
Okay, I'll take Lurrus.
So you take 2, brings you to 12?
Yep, and then I'll pass to you.
Okay, I think if you did have Fatal Push, which you didn't have earlier, if you'd found one, you probably would have played Fabled Passage before the Thoughtseize. So I don't think you have it, so I'm not going to play around it, which means I'm going to play this 10th District Legionnaire.
Okay.
I'm going to declare tax.
Yep.
Target God's Willing. God's Willing the Legionnaire.
Yep.
So I'm going to get 2 Scries and a Heroic Trigger.
Yep.
First scry. This is going to end with you taking 6.
Yep.
So that's going to leave you at 6. You have 2 in hand.
Yep.
So I kind of think next turn, that's what you're going to go for. I'm going to leave that on top.
Okay.
And play a tapped Foundry and pass the turn.
All right, we're in trouble. My hand is horrible. That was not much better. Definitely need to interact again this turn, even though our interaction is not very good right now. So let's go with a discovery. Okay, at least that's reasonable. Yeah, I'll bin that, draw this, and pass to you.
Attack, trigger here, target impulse.
Yeah,
Before attacks?
Yeah, I
doing something?
might think about this. I'm at 6, huh? Okay, yep, you can attack.
Okay.
Yep, target impulse resolves.
I'm not going to
cast it. Yeah. I gotta push. I want to hit 10th District Legionnaire. It honestly just doesn't matter, I guess, because you're going to Lurrus bring back whatever I kill, so I might as well do the thing with the more damage.
Yep. So that's fine. You take 2.
Yep, down to 4.
I will play this thing and play Lurrus.
Yep.
Play Legionnaire and pass the turn. Maybe I'm supposed to Hoplite because then I can Legionnaire next turn. But if you draw a removal spell, it'll be at the Lurrus. So
yeah.
And if you don't draw a removal spell, you're dead anyway.
Yeah. This is going to be tricky. That was a decent draw on our part. But is it going to be enough? So bad. This is so bad. All right, we're going to play Lurrus and pass to you.
I would like to declare tax.
All right, well, I have to push this.
Now I show you the impulse that I topped 2 turns ago.
Of course. Yeah, and that's game.
Yeah, this Titan Strength is probably also game.
It was, yeah. I think you had me covered on multiple axes. I just kept drawing like Thoughtseizes and Discovery Dispersals and Croxes. That is exactly what you can't draw if you expect to win. I drew push there at the end, and I took the calculated risk of playing Jace, and every time I did and you kill the Jace, I'm dead immediately, it feels like,
Yeah, because you just give me that free turn to both attack and develop my board. And, when you don't interact that turn and I'm killing your Jace, I can just afford to tap out, let you kill one thing here, and then protect the next thing. And my entire plan was to, protect the Dreadhorde Arcanist on 3 with that God's Willing.
Yeah.
Eventually got Thoughtseize, but you didn't have the removal for it anyway, so it was just as good.
Yeah, and it was like Thoughtseize, pretty good early on, and I had double Thoughtseize for that turn, so I really wanted you to have, like, gas in the tank. Instead, you just had lands, but Lurrus, you can't Thoughtseize Lurrus, so it is so tough that even no matter what I take, even if I hit like 2 good creatures, you just get to Lurrus and play the creature, so it's pretty brutal.
Every time I look at a Lurrus deck, I just want to add 1 to 2 lands.
Yeah.
Even more than we've said this about every deck for the last, 2 years.
Yeah, companion or not.
Yeah, but even with Lurrus especially.
Yeah.
I just want to make 4 land drops in every Lurrus deck.
Yeah.
So I can Lurrus plus 1 drop. And once your 4th land drop is actively good in every game, then just play more lanes.
Exactly. Then play 24 or something. It's kind of like the new average instead of like 20 for like aggressive decks like you would normally play there. Now that it is kind of a crazy beast because the Boros deck definitely does not flood well.
Yeah.
But with Lurrus, you do mediate that a little bit. I think we got time for one pity game here. I'm going to be on the play against you.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Rob, do you got any pity questions for me?
There was some disappointment over, not drawing the right half of your deck on that one.
Yeah, that was too bad. But we get to play for the marbles next round, so that's always nice, but...
It's always the problem when you play these removal-heavy mid-range decks, because they have to have some proactive elements to deal with combo and control decks. And when you play against aggro, even though your deck is a lot of removal, if you draw that proactive half...
It's not good.
It looks bad.
Speaking of not good, this hand is way too much of the bad cards. We got 3 of them and not enough land, so that's going to be an easy mulligan.
If you thought it was bad before.
Yeah. Let me show you some more.
Okay. This hand is fine.
Yep. Good enough?
Yeah, it is good enough.
All right, let's try this mulligan to 6 here. Looking for a lot of removal, as well as just a good curve. This is looking eerily similar to our last hand. We're going to keep this. Going to bottom. Lots of bad cards here. Got plenty to choose from. Think I want to just bin this Croxa. It's not very good right now. We're going to play this. This is on tap, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then pass to you.
Okay, I'm going to start on a Sacred Foundry.
Okay.
Pass.
I will opt. Heartless Act to the bottom. Don't need that. Draw. All right. I will
Heart of the cards.
Heart of the cards, indeed. I will take 2. Go to 18. Now, what do we want to do? I think I just want to set up. Since you didn't play a creature, definitely no reason to, for sure, have to hold up removal. So we're just going to discover.
Yeah, take your opportunity.
Yep. This is not bad. I'm going to keep this top one and draw this. Pass to you.
Soulscar Mage.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right. I'm going to take 2. Down to 16. I'm going to Thoughtseize you.
Good beats. Got the... I kept a 1 creature hand. I drew the 10th district last turn, but the 1 creature I felt like I needed to stay back, and I impulse for a turn 2 Jace.
Yeah, and this is the protection one,
Yeah, gives +1/+1 and indestructible to a human and a non-human.
Okay, that seems like the card that I want to take here. Probably the scariest one. So yeah, let's take that card.
It brings you to 14.
Yep. And then I'm going to strap some dead weight onto that. And pass to you. And you want to play with Revealed. I got a great memory, but yeah, perfect.
Legionnaire.
Okay.
Get in.
No blocks. I'm at 12.
Pass the turn.
All right. Opt.
Yep.
That is a card I kind of want, but not necessarily right now. So we're going to put this Crocs on the bottom. Not at that point of the game yet, I feel. Okay.
One of the things about this Grixis deck is it's not a very good Lurrus deck, but when you've drawn a dead weight,
then it's much better. Yeah.
Now we're in business.
So I'm going to get a swamp here, play Lurrus, and then dead weight your creature.
And I am going to impulse the Lurrus.
Okay. So everything's dead.
I am at 19 from that.
Yep. And then pass to you. 19 to 12.
Yep. And I'm going to go to 18 and play Lurrus Soulscar Mage.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Okay. That was a pretty good draw.
You're on 4 cards?
I'm on 4 cards, yep.
Okay. Are 2 of them removal spells?
Even better. I'm going to go with K command, destroy this, bring back Lurrus.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And do I care to... Yeah, I think I might as well. Yeah, let's just Fatal Push this now.
Oh, that was the best possible.
Yeah, and then we'll put this into play tapped and pass to you.
I will play Dreadhorde Arcanist.
Okay.
Pass the turn. That one can't get dead weighted.
Oh,
so...
it can. Oh, it sure can. I don't know how effective it is, but it can be a thing. All right, so I'm going to start with the Thoughtseize. Target you.
Other Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
I was hoping you were just going to go Lurrus deadweight this thing and like not have something to do with the other man, huh?
Yeah.
Then I could have gotten back into this. But yeah, not much I can do but reveal my hand.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I'm going to hope to Titan Strength this, then use that to try flash back the Impulse.
Yep. Boros Charm is sweet here and all because it does deal a lot of damage and stuff, but Titan Strength allows you to essentially get the Titan Strike back and double cast it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that, but I don't feel great here because, you know, you can just try to do it again, or if you top deck something, as far as a pump spell goes, it's pretty scary again. So pass to you.
You're at 10 right now?
Yep.
And this is currently a 0-1.
A -1, 0. So yeah, basically the math that Ross is going to do is if I Boros Charm you and top deck Titan Strength, do you die? And that's the math I would want to do as well, but it doesn't really matter for me because my hand was forced.
Oh yeah, all you would do, you would be forced to make this trade, but that's fine for you.
Yep. I mean, it does kind of suck to have my deadweight on this instead of in my graveyard, so...
Okay.
Okay.
As far as draws go, that's not a bad one.
Yeah, that sucks.
But I still can't do anything, so we're just in top deck mode. Going to hold the land for Croxa purposes.
Yeah, hate that.
I guess maybe I want to play it still. No, I want to keep holding a Boros Charm.
I'm going to keep holding it up. Okay. Now, what do I want to do? Land go?
Attack for 1.
The beats. Yep. Okay, no blocks.
You go to 9?
Yep.
Pass the turn.
All right. End step. I'm going to K command, targeting this and Lurrus. I could have did that last turn, but you had Boros Charm open. Like, you do have the choice to save it here or not.
I definitely have to save it because I can't let the deadweight go back to the graveyard.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
That's the awkward part. So yeah, I'm going to have to indestructible.
Okay. So I still get back Lurrus.
Yeah.
Now we have nothing to do with Lurrus though. So upkeep, I think I'm going to sack this to try to find something.
I really need to draw another Titan Strength.
Yeah. And I really need to draw a Croxa. Croxa here would be quite good.
Yeah.
All right. Or just another removal spell for this would be excellent.
Yeah, you've got plenty of good draws.
Yeah. Let's... All right, let's start with the Croxa. Take 3.
Yeah, I'm at 15.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just going to bring it back. Just have another one. Take 3 more.
I'm at 12.
16 to...
I have you.
You were at 19? Or
I was at 18.
You were at 18. Okay, yeah. So you're down to 12, and I'll pass to you. That was pretty good. That was a pretty good drop. Croxa is just much bigger than your ground creatures right now, so... And pretty tough for you to kill, realistically. You didn't really sideboard to be able to deal with that, because honestly, once you get to this part of the game, it's pretty bad regardless if I have Croxa or not. But maybe that's not 100% true.
You're at 9 right now?
9, yep. Definitely not out of the woods. Sitting good, but...
You can go.
So now it's a question, do I really want to attack? And that gives me the answer of, heck yeah, I want to attack. So I'll attack.
I'll go to 3. I think my best chance of winning is like him bricking and me drawing a bunch of Defiant Strikes.
Yep. Instead, I have Lurrus, Heartless Act, Deadweight that.
Yeah.
Your go.
Corey was certainly very favored in this top deck war, but also
drew but I also drew insane. Yeah. I had a lot of functionally the same cards, but so close, so close.
A little shy, and I'm just dead to the Croxa.
Well, you still got the match here. That is, at least I got to make it a little close.
Yeah.
You know,
and If those cake mans had been strategic plannings, they still would have been pretty good.
Yeah.
But not nearly as good.
Yeah.
Just rebuying Lurrus.
That's the one thing I think we both overlooked when looking at that card. It's like, okay, discard a card, not that big of a deal. Deal 2 damage, not that easy. Shatter effect is not good. But bringing back Lurrus when you have ways to kill it turns out to be excellent.
That's been something that we've seen a lot of in Lurrus decks adopting in significant numbers. Like almost every Lurrus deck has some way to get it back from the graveyard. There's Kolaghan's Command. There's Call of the Death Dwellers. There's Unearth and Modern.
Yep.
All of those cards are seeing more play now because of how powerful it is to be able to get that card back.
Yeah, and honestly, this deck is really, to me, doing its best modern Lurrus control impersonation as possible, except you just have to play some really bad cards. So it's pretty awkward when you draw too many strategic plannings or too many of the split card.
Really missing out on the Bobble Engine they have in Modern.
Bobble Engine and Wrenn and 6, is pretty powerful. Planeswalker, stuff like that. But anyways, really a completely different deck. But we are going to head to our third and final round where I'm going to be playing the deck that I have been playing in Pioneer and the deck that I want to play moving forward. I made a lot of changes to the Jeskai Super Friends list that I played with the Fae package. I really thought that package was pretty overrated and just not something I really wanted to be doing in Pioneer. So I got that out of there and I added some new spicy tech for the metagame.
Awesome. So an updated list of that deck, and that deck has emerged in the last 2 weeks. I've been recommending it over Heliod for people who want to play Yorion, but there is now even another contender because we have added Yorion to Inverter. I know Edgar Maguiash has been a strong advocate for it.
How do you feel on that, though? Like, what do you think?
So I think it helps you quite a bit. It helps the fair game of the deck, and it was the fair game of the deck that got hurt a lot by the introduction of companions. You just weren't able to play your fair game against them without a companion. You do sacrifice, I think, in the Lotus Breach matchup because you're a worse combo deck.
And you're just a worse combo deck in every matchup for me. Like I'm not sold on it yet, but it has been doing really well. I lose to it a lot when I play Jeskai Super Friends. So
I think overall it is better. If you're in a really heavy Lotus Breach metagame, I would go the 60 card list.
Okay. All right.
The list I'm playing is going to be from Gold Ducat, who noted MTGO grinder. Did really well in one of the challenges or super qualifiers.
Hey, you can just say did well in challenge. It doesn't matter which one it is. He plays them all and he top 8s every single one of them. Like the kid is good. The kid is really good. Just been basically an inverter king, kind of maybe trying to dethrone our very own Pete Ingram as the inverter king now that he hasn't been inverting people as much. So so we're going to take a short 5-minute break and we're going to be right back with the final round here on Versus Live 4 Z Marbos. We'll see you in a second.